Harry Kane breaking Jimmy Greaves' 52-year Tottenham record in the North London derby would make the historic landmark even more memorable, insists Eric Dier. Hello Spurs fan, welcome to the Spurs News Today channel. Before today's news, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, so you don't miss any Spurs news. Eric Dier says that Harry Kane beating Jimmy Greaves' 52-year-old record against Arsenal would make the historic landmark even more memorable. With Kane just a goal away from equaling Greaves' 266-goal mark for the club, and with the striker having a record of scoring 14 goals in 18 North London derby games. Today seems set up for Tottenham to derail Arsenal's title hopes. Dier said, "To beat the record full stop would be incredible, but to do it against them would be extremely special for him. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. He has an incredible record against them. In sport, these kind of things are funny, how they come along. You have teams or players that are your nemesis, then you have ones you always seem to do well against. But with Tottenham's season precariously positioned between a top 4 finish and the potential to progress in the Champions League and FA Cup, or regression from a strong start into mid-table, Dier has called on the crowd to recreate the atmosphere when Spurs beat Arsenal 3-0 at White Hart Lane last May. A result which helped secure their Champions League qualification and consigned the Gunners to the Europa League. That was maybe one of the best atmospheres I've played in at the stadium," said Dier. "Definitely the best at the new stadium. It felt like the kind of night the stadium was built for. I'd say the atmosphere played a huge part in it. And it was just a huge game for the Champions League. It felt as though whoever won that game would go on to qualify. So a bit of a final in that sense. But it's a long time ago now. This will be a completely new game." Dier's form earned a recall to the England squad, playing in the World Cup, and Spurs fans serenading him with an "I love Eric Dier" chant to the tune of Land of Hope and Glory. But recently there have been protests against chairman Daniel Levy and discontent following the 2-0 defeat by Aston Villa. Meaning the home crowd could either be a huge boost for Spurs or a hindrance. Of the chant, Dier says, "It makes you feel 10 feet tall. It's a fantastic feeling. It's a recognition of the work you're doing as well. That's always appreciated. And as a collective, playing in that atmosphere that was created that night, if you're the team behind it, you feel an incredible push. You don't get tired, you're never out of breath. You feel like you could play all night and run all night. It's an incredible rush." But of the unrest which manifested itself at the Villa game, he says, "Then you do start to feel your legs and your lungs. We need to play in a way that galvanizes the crowd, and at the same time the crowd can galvanize us to play in that way. It's a chicken and egg. You're never going to always play well, and in those moments, that's where the fans and the crowd can make such a difference, such an impact. We need to play well and play in a way which gets the crowd on their feet and bring that energy. We need them to be there for us in those tough moments. We need to feel that support, because that support is so valuable and can help us so much. It's running into a wind or running with the wind behind, that's how important it is for us." Dier says that he understands how difficult it is for Spurs fans at present, with Arsenal rejuvenated and top of the league, but says, "It's really not a nice feeling for a fan. I'm completely sympathetic to that and feel that. You're always looking above and wanting to get what's there. You want a nicer car, a nicer house, a nicer everything. But it's a waste of time to focus on anything other than ourselves, because all we can control is what we do.